Hey, yo, you're next. Don't you dare skip this. You need to hear this right now. This could be you. Every single year in America, tens of thousands of regular citizens find themselves cornered. You aren't looking for a fight. You're minding your own business, working your hands to the bone, just trying to live in peace. But the world comes through your door anyway, and in that split second between a casket or a cage, you choose to survive. But here's the cold, hard data the evening news won't tell you. The system doesn't care about your survival. We like to wave the flag, but look at the math. This country holds less than 5% of the world's actual population. But we lock up over 20% of the world's prisoners. Nearly 2 million people are sitting in cages right now because the state machine doesn't see human beings. It sees a docket number. It sees a payout. They will take your worst 30 seconds, dress it up in a slick suit, and hand you a rigged deck at trial. Because in this country, justice isn't a right, it's a transaction. The land of the free comes with a heavy fee. If you want the truth they lock away, don't stop here. Click the link on this page, click the box above or below right now, and step into the Old Ghost Trilogy. Listen to the rest of the story. Hear what happens when the machine comes for you. You think this is just a story about an old man who used to wear a badge? You think this is just a song? Look closely at the reflection in your screen right now. If the world pushes you into a corner tonight and you lay a heavy hand down to protect what's yours, you're next. You're next. You're next! I'm 62 years old. I've spent a lifetime minding my own, working my hands to the bone and keeping my word. I'm not looking for a fight. At my age, you just want a little peace. But the streets are getting mean and the law is getting crooked. So let this be a warning to the ones who think they can corner a man like me. If you force my hand, I will end it. And if your system tries to put me in a cage for defending my life, well, I've done the math at 62. 30 years is just a slow way to die. I'd rather go out under the sky than behind your bars. Don't start a fire you aren't prepared to stand in. I got silver in my beard and a stillness in my eye. I've seen enough of living not to be afraid to die. I walk the pavement steady, I don't look for any grief. I'm a man of solid shadow in a world of passing thieves. But if you reach for what is mine or try to lay me low, there's a dormant kind of thunder that's gonna have to go. I'll finish what you started, I'll lay the hammer down, and I won't ask for mercy from a rigged up court in town. They talk about the statutes and they talk about the time. They'll try to turn a man's defense into a cold-blooded crime. But the calendar is shorter when you're 62 years deep. And I got promises to my own soul that I intend to keep. I'm giving you the warning before the spark is lit. I've seen the cage you've built and I won't be part of it. 30 years or 30 seconds, it's all the same to me. I'd rather die in the open air and die a man who's free. Keep your hands to yourself and we'll both be doing fine. But don't you ever think of crossing over my last line. The judge is in his chamber and the sheriff's on the clock, but they can't put a spirit like a lion's in a lock. If the price of my survival is a bounty on my head, then I'll meet 'em on the asphalt till the final word is said. I didn't choose the battle, I didn't write the play, but I'll be the one who decides how I'm gonna pass away. They talk about the statutes and they talk about the time. They'll try to turn a man's defense into a cold-blooded crime. The pressure's rising higher and the air is getting thin. How do you fight a battle that you're never meant to win? I'm just a man who wants to be left alone in a quiet house that I call my own. But if you break the peace, you break the seal, and you'll find out exactly how the iron feels. I'm giving you the warning before the spark is lit. I've seen the cage you've built and I won't be part of it. 30 years or 30 seconds, it's all the same to me. I'd rather die in the open air than die a man who's free. 62 years and I ain't started a fight yet. Just keep it that way. Keep your hands to yourself. Just something I'd end. Just a line in the sand. 30 years. That's the price they put on my head for a fight I didn't start. I know I'm innocent, but I know they'll find me guilty. Because there's too much gold in these prison walls for them to let a body go free. So now I'm looking at two timelines, one where I rock for a lie and another where I fight for my life. But if I fight, men will die. Good men, maybe. But men protecting a government lie. They'll say I'm the bad man, but I was just the one who stood his ground. I wasn't looking for trouble, but trouble was bound to find me. Decades of shadows, that's the judge's demand for the crime of survival and the heavyweight hand. The system is crooked, the jury is bought. The truth is a ghost in the web they have caught. He knows the verdict before they sit down in a rigged up court in a hollow-eyed town. They want his time and they want his soul to fill up the ledger and keep their control. If he fights for his life, the fire will spread. A different timeline with the trail of the dead. He's backed in a corner with nowhere to run between the weight of the years and the heat of the gun. Some will die for the money, some will die for the time, some will die protecting a government lie. They'll call me a bad man for standing my ground in a world where justice can never be found. A bounty on my head for those who play the game, but I'm just the ending to a fire I didn't flame. The sheriff's a soldier of a broken down rule, a good man serving as a rich man's tool. If the lead starts flying, he's the first in the way. A sacrifice made for a judge's payday. One man couldn't keep his hands to his side. Now a dozen more are gonna take the ride. The innocence is gone, the mercy is thin, when the only way out is to deeper go in. And if he fights for his life, the fire will spread. A different timeline with the trail of the dead. The pressure's rising higher and the air is getting thin. How do you fight a battle that you never meant to win? Some will die for the money, some will die for the time, some will die protecting a government lie. They'll call me a bad man for standing my ground in a world where justice can never be found. I wasn't looking for trouble, but it found me anyway. Now I'm the monster in the light of the day. Is it murder or survival when the law is a thief? When the only way home is through blood and through grief? 30 years of silence, or a lifetime of lead. The judge is counting gold while I'm counting the dead. Just something I ended. I've spent 30 years trying to outrun a shadow, only to realize I was just paving the way for it to find me again. I see you out there, kid, trembling with that trigger. You think you're ending a story, but you're just starting a sentence that'll take you a lifetime to finish. I know how it goes, I know the rhythm of the lie. As the light starts to fade, I ain't afraid anymore, because in the end, I ain't the man they said I was, and I ain't the man I used to be. With my last breath, I finally see the truth. The air is getting thin and the sky is turning gray. The system's got its pound of flesh to end a weary day. I'm looking at the barrel and I'm looking at the kid, feeling all the heavy things that I once went and did. 30 years of running from a ghost I used to be, until the circle closed its arms and finally found me. I ain't a bad man and I ain't a saint of old. I'm just the final story that the government has told. They talk about the statutes and they talk about the time they'll try to turn a man's defense into a cold-blooded crime, but they don't see the spirit rising up above the wire, leaving all the ashes of the politician's fire. Is he a good man, or is he the bad man? Did he do right, or did he just follow the plan? The trauma's found a new sun to carry on the soul, while the old bell is ringing for a final heavy toll. The cycle never breaks, it just finds a brand new host. And with my last breath, I'm the old ghost. I see it in your eyes, son. The doubt is moving in the moment where the job ends and the haunting must begin. You wash the powder off your hands, but you won't wash the heart. You're just a puppet playing in a broken down part. I was you back then and now I'm the man you killed, standing on the summit of a steep and bitter hill. The truth is in the hum and the truth is in the sound of a man who found his freedom as he's headed for the ground. I am the old ghost, I hum the old song. I know exactly where we both belong. You're the new hand, I'm the old debt, and neither one of us is ever gonna forget. Is he a good man, or is he the bad man? Did he do right, or did he just follow the plan? The trauma's found a new son to carry on the soul, while the old bell is ringing for a final heavy toll. The cycle never breaks, it just finds a brand new host. And with my last breath, I am the old ghost. I am the old ghost. Now I'm your ghost. Checkmate.